Hey everybody, this is Wanna Be a Loser VSG. This is my first vlog. I don't know if I will ever even post this. I've never vlogged before, but this seems to be a pretty common journey that people take, and I thought maybe if my experience could be helpful to anyone else, that that I should maybe go ahead and post it. So I'm gonna record probably several initial videos and edit them all together before I post anything. And I'll get to why in just a minute, but to give you a little information about me, my name is Crystal. I am 35 years old, and I am in the process of getting cleared to have a vertical sleeve gastrectomy, a weight loss surgery. My history has been, I've always been overweight. It wasn't really morbidly obese until probably not too long after I got married. In 2006, it was really when the weight started to pile on. And despite my best efforts, nothing takes it off. Not permanently, anyway. I do have some strikes against me in that department. First of all, I'm female, and as we all know, the female body is designed to hang on to fat a little bit more strongly than male bodies do, simply because of our childbearing capabilities. It's the way our bodies were designed so that we could nurture a pregnancy and breastfeed. But that makes it a little bit harder to lose weight for us. And also I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a endocrine disorder that messes with your hormones. You tend to have less estrogen and more testosterone or androgen floating around in your bloodstream. A lot of women have weight gain, very common, not for sure thing, but very common. And a lot of women can end up with male pattern baldness. Thankfully, have not suffered that particular symptom. Infertility and excessive hair growth, facial hair, that sort of thing. And it's just because of the hormone imbalances. And it can also cause insulin resistance, which makes you much more likely to gain weight when you have polycystic ovarian syndrome. So, put it all together, just genetically, I guess, programmed to be heavier. Obviously, it's still what I put in my mouth. I'm not blaming anything on genetics or DNA or any of that. Ultimately, I am the reason that I'm overweight. But, some people have it a little bit easier and some people have it a little bit tougher in that department. So that's kind of my history. I was diagnosed with PCOS in 2008. I did deal with infertility. This channel is not really going to be about my fertility journey, but I did go through fertility treatments in order to have my 2 kids. I have a 5-year-old and I have a 1-year-old as of November of 2017, which is when I'm filming this. My youngest is actually about to turn 1 in 3 days, so yay, exciting. And the weight has just piled on since I had my first. And part of it is breastfeeding. I'm one of those lucky people that gain weight while breastfeeding instead of losing it. And it is common. Some people do have that unfortunate side effect. And I was also diagnosed with postpartum anxiety after my first, which after a lot of therapy led into learning that I have been dealing with a generalized anxiety disorder for most of my life and not really realizing it. So I have been on anxiety medication since 2012, and unfortunately, one of the side effects is weight gain. So the deck is stacked against me. And earlier this year, I think what prompted a lot of this kind of soul searching and considering various weight loss methods is that just a few months ago, we lost my husband's cousin, really, lost her husband at the age of 36 to a heart attack. Because, at least in part, because of his health, because of his weight. And my husband's 36, I'm 35, and that really, and other than just the tragedy of losing someone in the family like that, it was a huge wake-up call to both of us because both of us are morbidly obese. And we realized we want to see our kids graduate high school. My husband wants to walk our daughter down the aisle when she gets married, if she ever gets married. We want to be here, present. And so we've really been soul searching. We've participated in medically supervised weight loss. My husband had some more success with it than I did. He was able to lose about 40 pounds. Unfortunately, he's put it all back on, but I was not really able to lose that much. I've tried everything. Weight Watchers, Nutrisystem, curves, various diets and exercise programs, Beachbody, 21-Day Fix, Trim Healthy Mama, you name it, I've tried it. Supplements. I've never had prescription drugs for weight loss because, quite frankly, the side effects are worse sometimes than just being overweight. Sorry, my nose itches. I've never done that, and I don't intend to. That being said, the one success I did have, brief as it was when I followed a sort of paleo / keto diet. And let me tell you that it's a lot of work. Like, no lie. It's a lot of prep. It's a lot of planning. It's a lot of preparation. It's a lot of expense because you're just basically eating meat and fresh vegetables. And of course, that's the most expensive thing in our country to buy. You can buy a 25-cent box of macaroni and cheese and eat the whole thing. But to have meat and veggies, it's going to cost you, $5, $6, $7 a meal. So ultimately, while I did lose about 35 pounds over the course of several months, it wasn't long-term sustainable financially for us. And at that point, we were doing fertility treatments, and I had just found out that I was pregnant with my son. So I had to stop dieting. I, did still continue to try to eat right, of course, but I'm one of these weird people that I actually lost weight with both of my pregnancies. I was very, very sick, and I never actually gained a pound with either one of them. My son I actually delivered when I was still like 10 pounds under where I started, and my daughter, I think I was still like 4 pounds under where I started. So craziness. Unfortunately, last week I hit a weight that I never in my life expected to see on a scale for myself, and that was 298 pounds, which was depressing, to say the least, and terrifying because of the health implications of that. I think up till now I kept seeing 260s, 270s, 280s, and thinking, well, I know I'm obese, but it's really not that bad. Being 2 pounds away from 300 pounds at a height of 5'6", terrifying. I had also just been diagnosed with varicose veins in both of my legs and told that I couldn't even have treatment for them because my BMI is too high. They told me I would have to drop my BMI 10 points, which would be about 60 pounds on me, 60 to 70 pounds, before they would even consider me for varicose vein treatment. And in the meantime, they said, you're at increased risk for blood clots and therefore strokes, pulmonary embolisms, deep vein thrombosis, that sort of thing. Terrifying. Terrifying. So my husband and I had a very frank conversation. And we had sort of talked about weight loss surgery in the past and put it on the back shelf because it's a very drastic decision to make. Very drastic. And it's not to be made lightly. But we're to that point, for me. So, after much research and thinking and praying, talking to people, watching other YouTubers, their experiences, both good and bad. I wanted to see videos of people who had had a bunch of success, and I wanted to see people's videos that had failed after weight loss surgery, so that I could get kind of a well-rounded, balanced viewpoint. But ultimately, we've decided to go ahead and proceed with getting me the sleeve, gastric sleeve. And that's scary in its own right, but I think at this point, it's the only option I have if I want to see my kids grow up. And I do desperately want to see my kids grow up. So this channel is basically just going to, if I ever publish anything, which I'm still not sure I'm going to, it's just going to be sort of chronicling my journey through that, the way that others have done that really helped me. At the moment, I'm just filming on my phone. I hope to have a better setup by the time I have my next video. I have my consultation scheduled with a bariatric surgeon on December 1st of 2017, which is in a couple of weeks. And we'll sit down and really talk about what it's going to take. And assuming that he clears me, we'll go ahead and get that scheduled probably at somewhere in the beginning of 2018. My husband is traveling for work right now out of the country, so obviously I'm not going to be having any surgeries while he's gone. We don't know for sure when he's going to be back yet, probably the end of January. So obviously I'll be scheduling my surgery after that. But I'm hoping that I can be 75 to 100 pounds down by next Christmas, by this time next year, maybe Thanksgiving, which still wouldn't be anywhere close to where I need to be. I'm 5'6". My goal weight, my ideal goal weight would be about 135. That puts me at a BMI of 21 point something or other. And I think that's a really healthy middle of the range. I'm 35 years old. I've had 2 kids. I'm not going to get down to 115 pounds, which is at the bottom of my healthy BMI range. Not going to happen. Don't want to be that skinny. That's great for someone younger. Not for me. At the same time, I don't want to aim at the top of my BMI range and fall short. I'd rather aim at the middle and fall short on the high side, if that makes any sense at all to anybody. So I figure aiming at 135 gives me a nice solid goal to reach for, and honestly, if I end up anywhere between there and 150, I'll be really, really happy, because that's at the top of my BMI, what a healthy BMI would be for me. So this video is already at 14 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. Like I said, I don't know if I'm even going to publish this or not, but you know, if I do, I'm thinking about it. Here's from the beginning what it's like to go through this process. So after my consultation, I will make another video about how it went and what tests they wanted done and that sort of thing, and we'll go from there. See you guys later. Bye.